And you know what? If you're a man who needs a therapist and a mother, there's a woman out there who is willing to take on those roles for you. I am done with that.
Yeah.
You can kiss my ass.
You can kiss my ass. So
Come on.
All right, we can start now. I'm ready. All right, so I'm going to do an introduction. Welcome to another episode of the Least Favorite Podcast. I am your glamorous, amazing host.
Tanned host.
okay.
Natalie. And I'm here with Cynthia. I will say, hold on, wait. Let's do... You've been like my favorite guest. Because you be killing it.
Okay.
You be talking your shit. So I'm very happy you're here.
Thank you.
This week. So let's just get right to it. All right. So something I wanted to talk about is the importance of changing how we speak to ourselves. So like for me, we have doubts, right? But I feel like for me, I've always talked to myself so negatively in every situation where it's like, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You can't do this. The minute there's any type of struggle or anything in a situation, I'm automatically thinking of the negative, thinking of how all the different ways I'm going to fail. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, why do I do that? Like, why do I automatically go to speaking down on myself and making it seem like I'm not worthy enough or smart enough? And I want to change that. And I was thinking like, it's so hard to change that way of thinking when you go your whole life. Like, I'm going to be 30. To go 30 years thinking a certain way, it's something that you have to consciously be on top of.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, wait, let me change my way of thinking. So now I'm getting into a habit of like, okay, I may not know everything, but I am worthy. Like, I am enough. If I don't know something, I can learn it.
Yeah.
I can read about it. I can watch a YouTube video. I can figure it out. So I just wanted to know, like, is there any moment where you feel like insecure or unsure of yourself? Maybe as a mother or as a partner or anything that comes up, like, do you have those moments?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In all the roles, I feel like especially like as a mom, you know, it doesn't come with a manual.
Yeah.
So there are times where I'll react or say something and I'm not quite sure if that was the right thing to do or say. So yeah, I can see where you're coming with that.
Do you go to anybody for that? Like, do you ask? Because mother, like for me, I'm not a mom. So I could never tell a mother how to parent their child. But then is there ever a point where you're like, damn, should I ask somebody else what they would do? Or are they going to look at me a certain way because I handled that situation wrong? Like,
so this is the thing about asking for advice. I'm going to tell you what was my experience, not your experience. I'm going to also, if I have a fear for something, I'm going to portray my fears on you. You understand? So if I feel like I can't do something,
yeah,
and that's where you're coming at with me, I'm also going to say the same thing back. And then that's just going to hold you back.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, sometimes I ask for advice. Let's say I'll talk to my mom or my best friend. But again, they're telling me how they would do it.
Yeah. And
it might not suit me in that particular situation. But yeah, I get what you're saying about talking down on yourself.
It's even to a point that sometimes I don't even want to ask people for advice.
I get what you're saying.
Because it's like...
You don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. I don't...
Have you always been like that?
Yeah. I feel like growing up, I held on to a lot of shit. I would be going through so many things and I would just always keep it to myself because I don't want to burden anyone, or I always felt like my feelings weren't valid. And then sometimes in those moments when I would speak out and say something, it would get dismissed, shoot away. So it's like, oh, you see, I was right. My feelings aren't valid.
Yeah.
No one respects how I feel. So what the fuck is the point of expressing myself? But now it's kind of like I'm getting to a point where I'm like, no, like what I feel is fucking valid. And whether you want to accept it or not, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I've always kept things to myself because I just don't want to hear it.
Who's the most important person in your life?
My mom. Yeah.
So the answer should be you.
Oh, you see? It's not. My mom would be the most. So I spent most of my life doing things to please her.
you should always put yourself first. You can't fill a cup if you're not full. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that phrase is, but you get where I'm going with that.
I know.
It should always be you. We tend to always think of others, our children, our parents, our partners, our neighbors, our coworkers, but you got to put yourself first.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, all these people are somewhat benefiting, whether it's emotionally, financially, from you. So you definitely bring a value to their lives. So you're valuable.
Yeah.
You know, you're worthy. And you should always go first.
Yeah.
I
That's been one of
second
those
that.
things. Yeah, you definitely second that. Because he would spend most of our, like, when we were dating, he'll be like, yo, fuck that. Do what you want to do. Like, not fuck my parents,
Well,
but, like...
Respectfully,
fuck anyone, really, who has anything to say about anything. And that's something I'm realizing now. And I don't know if that's something that clicked for you guys in your 30s or if you always felt that way.
No, I felt I became more forthcoming, more
Forthcoming.
yeah, more yeah, right.
Yeah,
We
from
used
that
that
episode.
from that episode. More outspoken, more me in my 30s.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I was in my 20s, I'm like, oh, 30s is whack.
That's
30s
how I
is
felt.
old. I don't want to be in my 30s. And then I didn't realize how much wiser you are in your 30s and how you would have done things a lot more different looking back. But yeah, in my 30s, I definitely had that epiphany.
That's what I'm feeling now, and I love it. Like, I would never want to go back to being in my 20s.
That's crazy, right?
At
I thought the
all.
same thing.
And I thought my 20s were like my golden years. Like, I was thriving.
I don't know what
but now
40s
I'm like,
is gonna bring, but
I know. No, but I heard 40s is even better. How about you?
I've always been that way.
Yeah, I know.
Always been that way.
yeah, there's some people that are just like
I
naturally
just-
It's like
that.
how? Like, who put that in your head? Like, that confidence to, like, believe in yourself, stand on your own, and just go for it.
So another thing, confidence is what the other person, I feel like, portrays it to be. Because not for nothing, you wouldn't have said that. I would have never known that you had an issue. Because you seem so confident.
I'm so always
That
second
it's
guessing
insane
myself.
to me. And then with everything that you got going on, your career, you know, you went to school, you got your master's, you did this, you did that. I would have never thought in a million years that you felt that way.
But you know what? On some level, I feel like I purposely do that. It's probably like a way for me to survive. Like, I use fear as a way to, like, push me. Because otherwise, I might just get complacent and not do shit. So it's like, oh, I'm afraid of failing. Let me study extra hard.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I'm not smart enough for this. Or even with the podcast, I'm always second guessing myself. Like, I'm not smart enough. I'm not eloquent enough. I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll, like, study and watch other people talk and, like, read up on shit. And it's just like, that's just something I use, I think, to fuel me. But it's like, why am I using why am I using fear to fuel me?
Yeah.
It should just come from a more positive place. Because a lot of times I'm driving myself crazy.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
For what? Like, it's not even that serious. And a lot of times people watch and they don't even they're not looking at it as intently as we are. They're not judging us as intently as we judge ourselves. So it's just about, like, being more kind to myself.
Yes.
And that's what I'm working through now. Like, even if I fuck up, who cares?
You're human.
Yeah, I'm allowed to fuck up.
Absolutely.
I'm allowed to learn from my mistakes. Like, so yeah.
The problem is, I feel like society now, especially with social media, you only tend to show the good side of things.
Just
the
like how we use filters.
side. Yeah, look how we use the filters.
Yeah.
The positive side of things. And when you fuck up, you don't show that. That's not good to show that, you know? So I feel like society really plays a role in that. In us feeling like, oh no, I can't fuck up. I can't show my flaws. I can't do this. But we're all humans.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I was saying a lot of the stuff that I learned about myself and how I got to this point, I was thinking about it this morning. Because we always talk about how being single is, like, the greatest thing, right? You love yourself and you know what to work on. But how would I know what to work on being single unless I was in all those relationships?
Absolutely. You needed the experience.
Yeah, I needed the experience. So it's like, I would recommend people, if you really want to find yourself, get in relationships.
Absolutely.
Why are you looking like that? You
I'm
disagree?
trying to, no, I'm
Okay,
just processing, thinking about what you're saying.
Because I was thinking, like, I've been through a lot of shit in my relationships, but, like, I don't regret anything.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm, newly single, I feel like, wow, like, all these triggers were brought up that I didn't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have this amazing opportunity to work and address on all those things. So, I don't know. I'm excited for this new chapter.
But, all right. But there's also levels to that, too, because you can't be in a relationship, get out of a relationship, get into another relationship.
No, yes.
Because then you're never learning shit.
But when you're doing that, you don't, like, when I was doing that, I didn't even realize there was anything wrong with that either.
Yeah, I did it as well.
Right?
And I didn't realize I was doing anything wrong.
Until you go through some shit and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But you wouldn't know unless you did it. Because people can tell you, don't rush into it. It's going to happen.
It's like the dumbest thing. Like,
It
you
is.
can't go from one relationship no matter what to another one. You're just bringing whatever you had in your previous. You ain't heal. You didn't get past all that other stuff. And you're just still bringing it, all of that with you to the next one.
Yeah.
You don't learn about yourself, all the bad things you were doing. Maybe you didn't know how to communicate with your partner about something simple, about like cleaning. And now you take that to the next person when they leave something out, and you're just going to attack them the same way you attacked your previous partner. You got to like take time for yourself and just like self-reflect.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. It's
Plus
just
your selection of partner. Like when I was doing that, my selection of partner was, no offense, but it was just getting worse and worse every single time. And not that the person was worse, but for me, it wasn't for me. And you go through that honeymoon phase, and everything seems so perfect. So the fact that a person can stay single for a long period of time, you should be proud of yourself when you actually select someone. You should be like, wow, my judgment is so much better now because I was single for this period of time and I'm able to now add this person into what I have going on. I feel like your mind is cloudy when you're jumping from situation to situation. You're not giving yourself time to figure out what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But you're right about needing to be in a relationship to figure out those things.
Yeah, because now I'm like I've never been more clear on what I will tolerate versus what I won't. Like, I'm like focused now.
That's good.
And I appreciate even the bad situations, because it's like, my therapist was like, when something now you date someone new, when something comes up that's similar to the bullshit, your body's going to instantly react to it. And you're going to be like, oh no. I remember this. I'm out of here. But I wouldn't have known that unless I was in the bad situation to begin with. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
What were you going to say?
No, because a lot of times, like, all right, you'll be in a relationship with someone, and it was like a good relationship, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you just didn't appreciate certain things, and then you leave that and you go with someone else who gave you like complete opposite. They didn't treat you with that same type of respect, and it's like, damn, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you have like a moment of like a self-reflect, like, damn, I didn't appreciate the good things I have with this person, and now look at the things that I'm tolerating or putting up with this next person. It's like, what the hell is wrong with me? So then it's a good rate, like, all right, let me really step back and let me think about, okay, I had this with this person that was good, and this person gave me this that was so fucking bad. Like, why would I ever downgrade?
Yeah, of course.
So you know what to expect moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I want to get into toxic monogamy culture. So I'm going to play the video.
So often in traditional monogamous relationships, I don't want to say that you stunted your growth.
You don't have to be sexually active with someone
to have an intimate relationship.
But I think often in monogamy, we close off even that.
Yeah. It becomes threatening, which is toxic monogamy culture. It's not how everyone does monogamy, but it is how most people do it.
Yeah, it's kind of the cultural expectation that like monogamy also entails all of these other hyper rigid forms of self-policing or unavailability.
We were at a fucking wedding and we were asked to move some chairs. Lots of men, they were with women. Not one man was like, hey, let me help you. They looked scared as hell.
I would have been like, babe, go help her. What the fuck are you doing?
They're like, you're mine. You better not look at that bitch.
So I had actually that chair example. I asked 2 other girls if they would let their partner help, and they were like, no.
I would. But that has nothing to do
But they were
with
like,
monogamy.
They can help if the girl is like really struggling, but if the girl's fine, it's like, fuck it, she's fine, she's not crippled, she could do it herself. And I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did you think about the video? I mean, all right, go first.
I don't think, first of all, that's like, I'm a monogamist.
Yeah.
I'm really big into monogamy. But that's like me saying polygamy is toxic. To each their own, you know?
Right.
It's whatever suits you. But I also feel like,
Oh shit.
man. A lot of the times, if you notice with this polygamy thing, especially like polygamy relationships, because there's different forms of polygamy. You know, there's the open relationship, the open marriage, the...
What is it that Athena said? The unicorn thing?
The unicorn
married
thing,
couple with
exactly.
the girlfriend, yeah.
You know, so there's different forms of it. But if you come and you think about it, who really makes those decisions? I feel like a majority of the time, it comes from the man. I feel like the woman is not the one that makes that decision. Generally, like on a majority of the time. So what happens is you want to keep your man. So you piggyback ride into that situation.
Yeah.
So what happens is women tend to fall into these situations because you don't want to lose your man. So you're open to more women. I mean, when have you seen, rarely, but I haven't seen one woman with multiple men. When have you seen that?
I've never seen it.
You understand? So it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. I feel like we're just, us as women, we just tend to, okay, I'm good with it. You know, you open that door, for me, this is for me, because I'm a big monogamist. You open that door for disrespect. Like, at what point is there a line, some boundaries? It's not about being unavailable. Yeah, you know, at this point, if I'm in a relationship or I'm married, absolutely I'm unavailable.
Yeah.
I don't expect for you to give your body out to whoever. So then so there's no limits then. And people say, oh no, it has to do with trust. That trust in your partner. Nah, chill. I can't do it.
So at what point do you feel like monogamy, do you ever feel like monogamy can be toxic then?
Yes. Jealousy, insecurities, possessiveness is a real big deal. Like, first of all, you don't own anybody. Like, you can't tell me, oh, you can't wear that, you can't do this. Listen, if I feel like I look good in this, you should trust me that when I'm out, I'm not trying to pick up on nobody. You know, I want to wear this because I feel like I look good in it. I feel sexy in this. You know, if I can't wear this at my age now, I definitely can't wear this when I'm much older. Right. When I'm 68. So just let me rock this, you know? It's only so long I can wear this. Let me live. But yes, I do feel like there are certain moments where monogamy can get a little bit too crazy. Yeah. But it's not toxic. I feel like also, again, things get trendy. Like polygamy can become trendy and now that's the new wave. Right. So it opens these doors that whatever was already in place is toxic. And that's not the way I see it.
Yeah. I agree with what you're saying. And I definitely see how it can be toxic if like you can't do anything in your relationship. Like you look the wrong way and it's like, what the fuck are you looking at? Why are you looking at her? I don't know if it's because I'm coming into like my own and I'm realizing things now. Like what I'm realizing is I do love to socialize and I love to connect with people, talk to people. I mean, obviously I have a podcast, so I have to be social on some level. I cannot be with someone who like tries to box me in or tries to like limit me in that way, where now every time I went to a party over the summer, I brought the guy that I was dating. And he had said something to me like, you know, I had guys coming up to me that I knew. They were coming up to me and my other friends. And he felt he was uncomfortable. But like I wasn't doing anything. Like if they come and say hi to me, that's like, what do you want me to do? Not say hi?
That's an insecurity on his behalf.
Right. And so he had made a comment to me like, your interactions are your interactions. But now I don't want you saying shit to me when I interact the same way. And to me, I'm like, oh, that's unnecessary. Like I wasn't doing anything on purpose to spite you or to get you jealous. So for you to automatically like internalize that and come at me that way, it was like, all right, so then do what you need to do. Whatever makes you feel better. Yeah. That right there, I cannot deal with that.
That's the ultimate. That's when you should just like, all right.
Yeah, like that right there. I'm just like,
done. Like, here's a wrap.
At this point, he's not letting you be you.
Yeah, and it's like you were there. You can see the interactions. It was nothing like that.
Yeah, I shouldn't be in fear of what move I'm making.
Yes.
That's different.
That's the shit that I don't like about monogamy sometimes, that you do feel, if you're with the wrong person, you feel suffocated.
Yes.
You can't do anything. You can't be you. You can't be free. I get the open relationships. The one thing I would say about open relationships is I understand that love is boundless and limitless. You can love, I understand how you can love multiple people, because think about how when you break up with one person, you still have so much love, but you're able to date and move on and fall in love with someone else, and that doesn't really take away from the love that you had from the previous partner. Mm-hmm. So I get it, and I get how you can connect to multiple people, and one person cannot be your everything. Some people might say, if we're in a relationship, I should be your everything. I should be your best friend, your lover, the person you go to for every little thing. And some people have their best friends that they go to, not their partner. So I see how you can connect with other people. And I see, like, if there's open, honest communication, it could work. I don't know if I could do it.
I've seen it where it doesn't.
I don't know, because there's always a level, I feel like, of dishonesty that comes with it.
Absolutely.
Always.
What if it gets to the point where now I want us to stop? Yeah. You're not ready. You know, and I've seen situations like that where one person is ready to close that up and the other person is like, nah, wait, chill. I'm in the middle. Yeah. So then what happens is the person starts doing it on the side without telling their partner. That's cheating.
That's cheating. Yeah.
So no matter what, it's still cheating.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not that open to that polygamy. How do you feel about that?
I feel like you said, if it works for them, and I can get it. I've seen, there's a married couple I watch on YouTube. They both have podcasts. Shannon Boudram and her husband, Jared. They're in an open marriage, but it's not something where they're constantly going out, cheating, having sex. It's not cheating, having sex with other people. It'll be like, he'll connect with a woman and he'll tell her, like, I went to this party, I met this woman, we had a conversation about this, I really liked her, I found her attractive, I might meet up with her again. And they're fine with it. Like, they're just open. She had even mentioned that she lends him out just so other women can experience how amazing he is in bed.
Nah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my Lord. But like, that's what they decided as a couple. And so if it works for them, cool. I don't know if I don't know if I could do it. I see how people can do it and it can work. I just feel like if we got into this and we're monogamous and we both had that set, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, me either.
Could you do an open relationship, Anthony?
Probably could. I mean, I've definitely hooked up with chicks that had other dudes and shit, so I mean so yeah. I mean, it ain't like, yeah, I probably could, as long as everything is just like, yo, this is what it is from the beginning.
And would you be like, does it matter if you're the main guy or just the guy? Obviously you don't care about being a side guy, but like, you're the main guy, she's the main girl.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Like, I could do it, probably, as long as we have this conversation.
I feel like for guys it's easier.
Yeah, for guys it's easier, right?
No, because look at the dude that he couldn't fucking handle someone saying hi to you.
But I think a lot of, I know, that was crazy.
Like,
but I think a lot of guys,
that's what I'm saying.
They're
like,
not for the most part.
A lot of dudes, I don't want to say act like the B word, but I
think a lot of guys are okay, of course, with themselves being able to go and date other women and have sex with other women. But the thought of their women doing it is like, no, like, you're mine. Which is why she said we see a lot of men who have multiple women, but not a lot of women with multiple men.
Put it like this: every female that I've been with has slept with someone before me. Mm-hmm. When I'm sleeping with them, I never think about any of the dudes they slept with before me. Mm-hmm. I'm only in bed with this person. I ain't think about no other nigga. It's just me. So whatever you do when for that 2 minutes we in bed together, no, I'm joking. Okay. For that time that we're in bed together,
that's 2 minutes of her life, right?
You feel me? That's us two.
Yeah.
Whoever else.
But now what if you're in the relationship?
I ain't thinking about.
And she's
What?
Like, you guys are open. You're not going to think about it then? Like, it's happening simultaneously.
No, I'm not thinking about no one else when I've never in my life thought about another guy while I was sleeping with a female.
Well, no, of course not in the moment.
No, but like, because some dudes get so immature, it's like, oh, I'm touching you, but like, this other dude touched you.
Oh, yeah. You were touched before me.
I'm not thinking no random,
Yeah.
I'm in you right now. That's all I care about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, I don't have those thoughts like that. Or if I see you go hug another dude, I'm not about to be like, hitting you up like, oh, why did you hug this person? Or make some passive aggressive.
Probably super confident.
Of course, like it don't matter. Like if you play me, I could go get another chick tomorrow.
See, that's confidence.
It ain't like no thing. Like getting women is not hard. Like it's easy. So
not a lot of people have that.
Yeah,
because I definitely don't think that way. I'm like, oh my god, I'm never gonna find someone again. I'm gonna be alone forever. Like,
but I also feel like, especially people that are in polygamy, they mentioned the people that are monogamy, they have a closed mind.
Yes.
They're not secure.
Yes.
They don't have this mind of this openness, and it takes a lot for you to do that, and they don't have it.
They put themselves on a pedestal.
They do, but you know what? We're humans.
Yeah.
And us as humans, we are allowed to feel all those things. You understand? I feel like I'm like that with my child. I'm like, I'll never let obviously, she's going to do whatever she wants to do behind my back or whatever the case may be, whether she tells me or not. But I'm like, nah, I'll never let my child do that. Mm-hmm. Or, oh, wow, I would have never seen my mom do that. Like, it's always like that with any relationship that means something to you. And I feel like it all has to do with how much it means to you. Yeah. And that's why I feel like I wouldn't be able to open up to polygamy, because if I'm with this person, my feelings are so deep for this person that I don't see myself or that person sharing what we have with someone else. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes us special, unique. If you're sharing that bondness with whoever you want, then how is it special? Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I get it. And I think monogamy offers a good, there's a lot of people who prefer monogamy over polygamy. It offers a good structure, balance, there's expectations, there's discipline, and some people need that.
Control.
Some people are like that.
Yeah. Self-control.
You
can't just, every time your penis erects or your vagina gets wet, I'm gonna go out and just go do this. It's just, you have to have that discipline. You have to have that self-control. And I feel like that's necessary, especially when you get to the marriage part. Not even a relationship, to the marriage part. You have to respect yourself, your body, and your partner. But hey, to each their own.
To each their own. Yeah,
whatever
I don't
works
know.
For them.
Whatever. Yeah, because I don't know. Okay, so we have another video. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Wait.
Think about how many times when we were young, we would literally map out, like, if this guy would just do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But I think that's what you do when you're like little young girl mentality, is you just think, oh, they just don't know that they need to be over here with me, and I'll do the following things for them. And you want to basically act like their mother, because I don't know why you want to take all those tasks on. Like, I don't want to be somebody's personal assistant. That's essentially what I was willing to set myself up to do when I was like quite literally. Like, why would I want to make somebody's resume? One of my girlfriends said this, and I always think about it. I just told myself, this is not my love story. My love story is not that I met this guy and he stressed me out until he eventually became my man. How did you eventually get with him? Well, there was a lot of peer pressure, and there's a lot of me driving him around, taking him to his appointments.
So she's actually the one who's in the open marriage, the light-skinned one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this because I really resonated with it. Being someone's therapist, secretary, mother, intern, event planner in a relationship, and why we tend to do that as women. Like, is that just like the woman in us, the nurturer in us, that we want to like fix this broken soul and like nurture him to be this great man? It's like, I've done that in a lot of my relationships, and it's like, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting, especially when you're doing it with the wrong person.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, I'm very nurturing. And I don't mind doing all those things as long as I'm doing it for the right person. Mm-hmm. Because I expect those things for me. You know, back to that conversation that we had about being submissive, that has a lot to do with that, where the man plays the leadership role and you feel comfortable enough to open up and let him make those type of decisions for you and for the relationship. So it's the same thing vice versa. But if you're doing it for the wrong person, that shit is exhausting.
You're never going to be reciprocated.
Yeah. And it's not about, oh, I'm being his mom, I'm being his therapist, because I feel like we as women, we do that because men have a hard time opening up. Let's call it for what it is. Society has it that when men open up, they cry about things or they express themselves, they're being dramatic, they're being emotional, they're not allowed, they're being a bitch ass, fuck ass, whatever the hell you want to call it. But, you know, and they're not allowed to do these things. They're not allowed to express themselves. So I feel like when, you know, you're in a relationship and you do, you know, you play that quote unquote therapist role or that mother role, you're letting that person be vulnerable and open up to you, which is great. But if you're doing that to the wrong person, that could be very exhausting.
Oh, yeah. It's funny that you mentioned the openness because we had an episode with someone here and the guy was like, well, I would be open to you, but I feel like you're not really trying to understand me. So you can't be mad if I go to another woman and I open up to her because she understands me. And I'm just like, what the fuck is he even talking about? Like,
hey, yo.
Yeah, I was like, it went into a whole other conversation, but whatever. It's funny that you mentioned that.
You know, say that he tried to open to you but wasn't able to. So
yeah,
he
it wasn't to me directly, but he was giving me an example. He was just like, a lot of times you get in a relationship with someone. Yeah. You try to open up to them and they're not letting you, like they're dismissing you. So now you can't be mad if I open up to another woman because she understands me. And I was just like,
that's kind of normal.
No.
Yeah. Because now you can't always talk to your partner when you try to open up. It's like,
so then what's the point?
Because a lot of times when you try to open up to your partner, maybe things are just going wrong. They might think you're attacking them, so they get defensive, and then that kind of starts an argument. So it's good to be able to talk to someone else. Sometimes you don't want to talk to a guy. You want a female's perspective from a guy. So you can talk to a female friend just to get, maybe she can give you advice like, oh, maybe your girl is feeling this way, certain things. So that's why you would do that, because you're just talking to someone that's listening to you and giving you advice. You're not talking to your girl who's listening to you and might get defensive and wants to become argumentative with you about it.
Yeah. Okay, so then if you're in a relationship with someone like that, right? That's a whole different topic. How do you work on that? Because you're like essentially bonding with another woman instead of the woman you should be. So it has to get better at some point, or else you're always going to run to another woman whenever there's an issue.
At that point, that's where that man is with the wrong person. You need to be able to open up to your partner. You know, I understand that maybe you want to get a person's point of view here and there, but you shouldn't be able to have to run to another woman all the time.
And that's what he was
because
basically
she's
saying.
Argumentative all the time.
Yeah.
So at that point, you got to reevaluate that relationship because you should be able to be vulnerable and open up to your woman. I don't, you shouldn't be, it should be the opposite way around too. Like if you don't expect for your man to, every time you say something to come at you, be defensive, do this, do that. And then what are you going to do? Eventually you're going to run to another person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But back to because we're going to get to that with another topic, but back to the secretary mother thing. I feel like, I think a lot of times I was doing that because I just wanted them to see that I could be like the wife role, like have this special title, like, oh, she does XYZ for me. And so I was like overextending myself and doing it, like you said, for the wrong person because they would never meet me where I was at. That now I'm at a point where I'm like, you need to be able to stand on your own. And I'm going to stand on my own. You could do like the basic things for me, I guess. Whatever that looks like, I guess we'll figure it out. But I no longer want to be the mother and the therapist.
You won't feel like that when you find the right individual, though.
I hope
that's
not.
the thing. You feel overextended.
Yeah.
And you kind of, I feel like we tend to like say, obviously you do want somebody that stands for themselves.
Yes.
But that nurturing effect, it feels good when it's being reciprocated.
Yeah.
And when it's being appreciated. And when we are doing it and it's not for the right person, then what happens is you're like, I'm doing too much to the next person, I'm gonna kind of pull back.
Yeah.
But that's not fair to the next person. You understand? What if that person is the one for you and they love those things and they appreciate that from you, but now you're pulling back because the previous person didn't appreciate that from you? That's not fair to that person.
It's definitely gonna take time though to really see, like, I'm gonna have to see real effort being put in before I put in any. And something else that I was listening to another podcast and they were saying like the importance of getting to know somebody in all their seasons.
Oh yes, I saw that. Summer, winter, fall, and spring.
And I felt that.
Let me tell you something. You could be all cuddled up in winter, and this person be the only thought in the summer. Like, bro, what you doing in Dykeman all summer? What happened? You didn't smoke hookah all winter. Now all of a sudden you want to try the hookah.
Yeah, you gotta put that in there.
You live on Dykeman. What you talking about?
Shut up. No, but it's so true. Like, getting to know them.
Absolutely.
When they're frustrated, when they're mad, when they're sad, when they're hungry, when they're tired. And seeing them on multiple, not just the one time you see them mad, all the times that they get mad. Like, really getting to know somebody, like, that's gonna have to be number one on the list moving forward. But yeah, no more with I'm not your therapist. Your problems are not my problems. I can be here to support you, to guide you as much as I can, to offer as much emotional support as I can. But as far as like trying to heal you, when you're not even trying to put in the work yourself,
that's the thing.
You have to want it just as bad as I want it for you.
And you have to see your toxic traits.
Yeah. Yes. And a lot of people don't recognize it.
You gotta identify that.
Yes.
Because I feel like I could identify when I'm like, oh, I'm getting mad for no reason, or this is triggering me. Why is this triggering me? You got to be able to identify that. But I feel like we all need that, you know, whether it's a man or a woman, you need that nurturing, you know, so, you know, with your partner. So I wouldn't want my partner to kind of pull back because the previous relationship didn't work out and that person wasn't appreciated. But I get that whole situation of being someone's therapist, being someone's mom, being someone's assistant, being someone. It's like it's too much.
It's too much.
Like,
and
you don't even make your own doctor's appointment, bro. You don't care about your teeth. Go get a dental checkup. It's supposed to be every 6 months. And it's like, you know, little things like that. That's a big deal.
That's the shit I'm talking about.
Again, I feel like when you find the right individual, all those things will be valued.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Because I obviously I do all that stuff on my own. Like, it is what it is. But when I was with like my ex girlfriend, especially early on, because of the person that she was such like a control freak that like I just kind of like fell back, because I can be laid back and super like nonchalant, casual. So I just let her like, all right, whatever, like, and it just kind of went with the flow with it. But that was like the only time I ever really did that, and it was just because like her personality was so
like a little overpowering.
She was just she wanted her hand. Save her. Bro, she had like, I mean, she has her hand. She wants to be in control of everything. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
no, I'm tired of that.
So I got to the point where I was just like, even me, I was like, damn, I just could not be with like someone that's that kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just crazy.
No, like I want it to be like a nice flow.
Yeah.
Like wherever I lag, you just pick up the slack, and there's no throwing in the face of like, you see, I had to pick this up because you dropped the ball. No, like it just clicks. It works. There's a flow, a natural flow. That's good. Easy, breezy. Like, like it's just, I'm done with that.
That's how I feel.
I feel like also too, we tend to ourselves. We tend to feel like our partner has to guess what we're thinking.
Yes.
Our partner has to guess what we want. And unless you communicate that and you express that in a healthy way, you're not gonna get that. And I was taught that by an 8th grade teacher. I remember being in 8th grade, and one of my teachers always said, you like a certain type of flower, you like orchids and you don't like roses, and your partner comes home with roses, that's your fault. You didn't express to your partner what type of flowers you like. So now you're upset with yourself, you know, with him and all this other stuff about him bringing the wrong flowers. But did you ever tell him what type of flowers did you like? You have to communicate that now. These are not children you're communicating with this with. If you have expressed to your partner over and over and over the types of things that you like, and they just, or the things that you don't like, and they continue to keep poking the bear. Now that's a different story.
Yeah.
But if you haven't communicated that, that's on you.
That's like, remember when we were talking, and I was like, your partner doesn't know how to show up for you unless you tell them.
Yes.
And it's so true.
My gosh.
How? And then you're like mad, like, oh, but he should have told me this, or she should have done that. But it's like, did you even tell them? Like, you never said shit.
You gotta tell your partner how to show up for you, and they gotta tell you how you should show up for them. And if those things are put, on the table, that's great. If the person actually goes forward with it, but if they're not listening, then you gotta reevaluate that.
Oh, this is actually into the next topic when it says women make their issues known, but men don't pay attention. And I'm not gonna even say what the other guy was saying because he's an idiot. But we could just talk about that.
Now I want to know what he was saying.
Basically, I said, okay, because one of the girl in this video, we should play the video too. But
how do you feel like we can avoid this quote unquote flight that's happening in relationships these days?
Oh my God, listen, take in the information that we're saying. I feel like women, we give y'all subtle hints, and we give y'all chances to make it right. I did say subtle, because you know what? A lot of men can't handle us coming straight out and saying it, because now it turns into an argument. So I'm gonna start with a little subtle hint for you to maybe hope that you kind of get what I'm saying. So if I'm watching like Steve Harvey, I'm gonna be like, you go, yep, that's the one right there, in hopes that you pick up on what he's talking about, and maybe you can get it as well. So I'm gonna throw subtle hints, and I'm gonna just hope. I feel like a man should listen and understand and comprehend, not just try to comprehend so, communicate back, but, to actually find a solution to it.
You could be as calm as possible. And so she was saying in the video how a lot of times we'll just drop subtle hints because we know that it's going to be an argument. Mm-hmm. So it'll be like you're watching, she said, I'm watching Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey will say something, and I'll be like, yes, like, go ahead, talk your shit, just to like give the guy a subtle hint. But at this point, I'm like, I don't want to give subtle hints. No. I want to tell you straight up. No. This is what it is. Yeah. What's the subtle hint? And then I want to see how you're going to take it. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be something that affects you to a point where now you think I'm picking at you? Because then you're just insecure. Yeah. And for what? Like, I should be able to come the same way guys say that they can come to us. Are we really that difficult when we hear shit about us?
I feel like women are very difficult.
I feel like I've gotten better.
Yeah, I feel like we
women not making any eye contact.
Yeah, I feel like us women.
Are we that difficult?
I feel like us women can be very difficult. I don't know what it is. It's in our nature, but we can be very difficult.
Is it because we are already overextending ourselves so much, and then to get nitpicked, it's like, how dare you? Like, I'm already doing so much.
I'm not gonna lie, and just in not just in relationships, I've always struggled with constructive criticism. Mm. And I feel also that healthy communication doesn't mean that everything's gonna be all flowers in the garden, everything's gonna be dandy. There's gonna be things that we don't like that's gonna be brought up towards us, towards whatever we're doing or whatever we're saying, or just period. And we tend to get very defensive. And I feel like we women also do have a problem with constructive criticism.
Have you gotten better since?
I
like
have
you realized
better.
it.
Yes. Okay. Now, like we mentioned, our 30s are so
enlightening.
So enlightening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I've gotten, compared to my 20s, absolutely. In my 20s, you couldn't tell me that I was breathing or doing anything wrong. Yeah. Nah, not me. Not me.
How dare you?
How dare you? I'm doing everything right. And tick for tack and doing this. Yeah. But yes, I feel like I've gotten better.
Okay. I feel like I'm still working on it. I'm still figuring it out. Yeah. I definitely have to stop myself and not take things personally. Like me and you, can I talk about it? I was on vacation and I'm like I'm like telling him I want like a new picture for the podcast. But he thought I was talking about the logo. I don't really like our logo, whatever. But I wasn't talking about it. So I'm like, automatically he's like, well, we don't want a new logo. You want a new logo. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm trying to be calm. And then he's like, I think it's fine the way it is. And I'm like, well, why is it that every time I make a suggestion, you never want to like take my opinion, only your opinion matters, or am I overreacting? And he's like, yes, you're overreacting. Yeah. And I was pissed. Yeah. But then I had to be like, all right, you know what? I'm not about to argue.
Yeah.
We can talk about this calmly.
Then you proceeded to ask me to do you like 10 favors, and I was like,
I'm like,
okay.
you know what? Fuck it. Like, I don't want to be this combative person.
But see, that's also over text.
Also that I had to be like, all right, we're on text. I'm on vacation. Like, why am I even going back and forth?
Yeah.
Like, but old me would have continued, and it would have been this dramatic, like, paragraph after paragraph, being pissed.
But now also that is knowing the person you're talking to. Mm-hmm. Like, you were talking about me, right?
Yeah.
Do I ever just like come out and just spaz?
Never.
So why would I do that over text?
Never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to know who you're speaking with. Like, I'm more just like, all right, it is what it is. Will I get annoyed at some things? Of course.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna just straight up like just shit on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm more the person that's gonna make a joke about something before I just straight disrespect you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in that situation, yes, you wanted to change it, not me. But I just wanted to make that known.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I was being petty just to throw it back at you.
You admit it now, because you didn't admit it before.
I wasn't being petty, but I'm just saying.
Being petty. He was being petty.
But that's what it was.
But I feel also like us women, we pay attention to like details that men probably don't notice. Like, oh, this is pink, and I want this changed to blue, and to them they're like, whatever.
Gives a fuck.
Yeah, like it's not that they don't care. It's just something that they didn't pay attention to, or they feel like it's not important. Like that's not important at this moment, and we take it to like a whole nother level. Like, oh, you don't care. Every time I mention something, you don't see. I'm gonna use this for an example, and it's like they just didn't notice that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
it's tough. Navigating that is so hard.
It is.
Because
I feel like we're
like,
literally two different types of species.
Yeah, no, we are.
We really are. And I feel like we tend to forget that because they're really good at certain things and we're really great at certain things, or we really suck at something, but we want them to be just like us.
Yeah.
But then they're
they
not.
don't understand why we're so emotional.
Yeah.
Why do we take everything to heart? Why do we get so defensive? And it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain it, but like, I don't know.
Do you catch yourself sometimes saying, like, when you talk about like your emotional side, do you catch yourself sometimes not being able to express yourself?
Yeah.
And you always say, I don't know. I do that so often.
It's hard.
It's so weird because it's like, I'm feeling something, but I don't know how to say it.
It's like, and we feel more than one thing. Because it's like, see, I can't even explain it now.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Something happens and you feel frustrated, you're insecure, you want to cry, you want to hit them, like you're upset, you know, like so many different emotions, and they kind of just look back at you like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you're not making it clear. I don't really know how you want me to react. And then when they don't give us the reaction that we want, that's another issue.
Yeah. Because there's so many things in here. You're trying to get off, you want to get your point off. You don't want to offend this person.
Yes.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that.
That's a big one.
So you're doing that, plus you're thinking like, okay, I got to
and then you don't want to look crazy.
You gotta filter it. You gotta filter
so you're like, your head is going like 4 different ways at once, trying to piece all this together, and then it just comes out and it's just like, I don't know, kind of thing.
It's I don't know, because it's true. You don't want to hurt the person's feelings. Am I supposed to say that I feel insecure right now? Because that's kind of weird if I say I feel insecure.
They're going to be turned off if I say that.
They're going to be turned off. Or am I going to sound crazy? Yeah. Or, I don't know, is my insecurities about to come out? Can I say those things? So it's so, I don't know. Holy crap.
I don't know. But, yeah. But it's always the right, like we always say, like it's just the right person will get it.
Yeah.
And the wrong person won't.
That is so
and there's a right person for that wrong person. There's a right person for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And they will be happy in whatever dysfunctional relationship they set forth because they will understand each other. So
that's like, you know what? All right, I'm just gonna use that example, right? I know someone that he's in a relationship with someone. He's shorter than the woman he's with, or they're like eye level. Mm-hmm. But like, I love women that wears heels. His woman doesn't like to wear heels, so it works out for him as a short person. Right. So, you know what I mean? He can go out with this woman and go on dates with her.
It works.
And they can look great together because they're like eye level because she doesn't like to wear heels. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's someone out there, I'm just using that as an example. I don't want to go crazy.
That's a good
but you know
example.
what I'm saying? So it's like you can find someone that matches what your needs are.
And you know what? If you're a man who needs a therapist and a mother, there's a woman out there who is willing to take on those roles for you. I am done with that.
Yeah.
You can kiss my ass.
You can kiss my ass so much.
But that's crazy. But yeah, even though, no matter what though, if you're in a relationship, yes, you should be able to share with your partner.
Yeah.
But fuck, like, some things you just gotta like hold in or let that go somewhere else. You can't tell this person everything.
Yeah.
Because all that negative energy you have in yourself, you're just gonna transfer it to her. Now you both could be stuck in a negative place.
It's identifying when it's like, you who's the problem. Yes. But not everybody has that ability.
No, not everybody.
Not everybody is that self-aware. Mm-hmm. And self-awareness is not just you being aware with who you are, but it's also being aware with how your thoughts, your opinions, your actions affect those around you. Yeah. It's not just how you feel all the time. You have to be like, okay, I feel this way, but now if I project this, how is it going to make my partner feel?
Mm-hmm. Because we are selfish people.
Yeah.
I feel like shit. Naturally. I want you to feel like shit. I want you to know how I feel.
That's not effective.
Not everybody's like that, but there are a lot of people with what he's saying.
There's like, I want you to feel this pain that I have. I want you to understand exactly why I feel this way. I want you to know I can't love you the way you deserve to be loved.
And that's victimizing too.
Which is all fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Get the fuck over it.
How many times I told you, just get over it? Like,
yeah.
And
I have to eat that and get over it because it's true.
Yeah.
Cry about it. Move on. Like, someone's going to break your fucking heart. If you get up, you leave one relationship, the next person may break your heart. Yeah. But just move on. Like, fuck it. Don't cry over everyone.
Yeah.
For years.
And everybody has flaws. Mm-hmm. No one is perfect. It's what you're willing to deal with. Mm-hmm. For me, like, cheating is a big deal. Again, I'm a big monogamist, so for me, cheating would be a big deal. But I feel like, especially now, with society now, a lot of marriages, a lot of relationships don't work because we don't compromise. I feel like the second someone says something or the second someone does something, it's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Leave that dude. Mm-hmm. Leave her. Mm-hmm. She ain't shit. He ain't shit. There's no compromising anymore. And a lot of successful marriages and successful relationships, or healthy ones at least, is compromising.
A lot of compromise.
Of course. It's not just when you're going to go do something, you always got to think of that other person. Mm-hmm. How you move. You always got to think of that other person.
No one wants to do that anymore.
No one wants to do that shit anymore.
They don't.
And that's why we're at where we're at with divorce rates and relationships and all this, is because, oh no, I made this kind of money, or I do this, or I don't need nobody. Or as we clearly understand. I know if you're making this amount of money, you don't need nobody. No one's saying you do. Mm-hmm. But if you want to be in a healthy situation, you got to learn how to like come back a little bit and let that person be themselves or express themselves or be vulnerable without just saying, nah, fuck that. I don't need nobody. Because then you don't leave room for that person to be themselves, you know? Yeah. So.
But the main thing is like, it has to be reciprocated.
It has to be.
We both have to compromise.
Absolutely.
We both have to bring something to the table.
And that can't be one-sided.
It cannot be one-sided. Mm-mm. And I just think a lot of times too, a lot of the relationships are one-sided. Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's this, oh my God, there's a whole other topic, but there's this sense of like entitlement from men and from women. Like, women are expecting now, like, the man has to just roll out the red carpet for them and just give them the whole fucking world. But it's like, you haven't done shit to earn that. And there's a lot of men who are expecting the same treatment from women.
You have to earn it.
But it's like, you haven't done shit to earn it either.
Yeah, you have to.
So now you have both species coming out with these expectations, and neither one of them is willing to compromise. Yeah. To give in a little bit. It's just, you gotta give in. It's fucking ghetto out here.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, it's not the same. Like, not for nothing, we see the previous generations on, oh, the woman was very submissive. Ugh, and it looks like
stay tuned for my least favorite take where I dive deeper into that coming this week. But go ahead.
Yeah, where the woman is very submissive and this and that, but it's all about giving in a little bit. If you come and you think about it, yeah, she was submissive, but then when you are deeper into that, you're like, damn, but she was really wearing the pants in that situation. She was really controlling it. But yeah, she was really controlling it because she was giving in to her man. She was doing all the necessary things to be in a situation like that. I feel like we don't have that no more.
No, we don't.
Everything is, this is what I bring to the table, take it or leave it. And it's like, whoa, wait.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And another thing is, I feel like when we do that as women, we take away that masculinity from the man. We don't let the man open the door anymore, pull your chair out anymore, take off your coat anymore, because you got it. Yo, you got it. You got money like that? Go ahead. Do you, girl? Yes. Yes. You know, so I'm all for this equal rights opportunity thing. You know, I'm all for that.
I'm good. I don't want to be equal.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all for that. Yeah. Listen, it's true. If a man can do it, a woman can do it. But you can't expect for things to be just the way they were back in the 1980s with a 2022 perspective.
No, it's so true. Yes.
You can't.
Yes.
You can. So, yes, no one's saying to not go get that title in your career. Mm-hmm. Yes, you gotta open up and do all those things for yourself. But when it comes to sharing an intimate relationship with somebody, you gotta tone all that shit, bring it down.
You have to
bring it down. You're not, if you're a director in your job, you're not a director at home.
You're not.
If
you're a collaborator.
Yes. If you're a manager at work, you're not the manager at home. Mm-hmm. And I feel like even I was in a situation like that, like where I was in management at work and I wanted to be the manager at home. Mm-hmm. And it's not like that. It's 50-50. And we tend to forget that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was saying in the take, because you just brought up a good point, like there's also a lot of men who are expecting women to be submissive, but they're not leading.
Oh, that's a big deal.
It's like you want me to hold all these, like you said, all these 1980s values, but you're not putting me in a situation where I feel comfortable enough to even be vulnerable and submit to you.
Yeah, no, obviously. No, I feel like us women, we can be submissive.
Of course.
If the man leads us the right way. It's all about how I feel if you can control this. It's like, oh, wow, so he is making the right decisions. Yes. I like this.
I can trust you. I can put my guard down. I can trust this,
and I can bring my guard down. But if I feel like you're leading us into a fucking
clusterfuck.
If you're leading us into a fucking ditch, I'm not going that direction. No. I'm going to steer us the opposite direction, and I'm going to take over this role.
And you know what? In some situations, there's going to be moments like that mm-hmm. where you as a woman are going to have to step up in that
absolutely. Way. Listen, the president is there. They have their first lady, which I think the first lady isn't saying things into their ear and guiding them into the right direction. Meanwhile, he's the one that's saying the speech.
Yeah.
You don't see that. She's in the back, right? Mm-hmm. She's the one that's giving all this information, but I feel like you gotta be the ones to lead and lead us in the right way. Yeah. And I have to trust you that you're leading us in the right way. And you're not leading us into debt. That you're not leading us into the, like you said, a clusterfuck. You know? And I feel like
I didn't sign up for this shit.
I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. You know, and I feel like we have really good judgment, especially women in high places. Yeah. We have very great judgment. You know what I'm saying? So you could tell when you're being steered the wrong direction. And that's where you're like, wait. I'm not going to be submissive to this shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of that has to do with that. But I feel like a lot of women also don't open that door of being submissive. It's like, well, you want me to be your slave? You want me to do this to you? You want me to do that to you? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to cook for you. Fuck you. You cook. You hungry, you eat. And then we end up kind of falling into a situation where the man is like, I don't know if I want to do this because you're fucking with their masculinity. Yeah. That's a big deal. She's fighting me on everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. That was great. Okay, so last topic. Yes. This part is, okay. Is understanding your partner's childhood traumas and triggers a love language? And then I want to piggyback on this. I saw a meme this morning, actually, and it's two pictures side by side, and it's like the Hulk. Like a guy who looks like a beast. Ooh, and it's this woman who's like holding him and like consoling him. And then right next to it, you see him become like a human man. Like he's not a beast anymore.
That's sweet.
And it's basically like the right woman will heal a man like from his traumas or something like that. And I was like, yo, fuck this shit. Like, I don't know why, but I just felt like it goes back to me not... If I can't heal your traumas, right? Does that mean that I'm not the right woman for you? You know what I mean? Like, maybe I couldn't heal you because, one, like I said, I'm not your therapist. But two, you didn't want it bad enough to do the work yourself. That doesn't mean that I'm less of a woman or I was less of a girlfriend because I wasn't able to, like, bring you out of that.
Yeah.
Because you have to be willing to bring yourself out of that. And so I feel like, yes, understanding my partner's triggers is a love language, because then I'll know as your partner not to bring up certain things.
Yeah.
Or to be a little bit more delicate when I approach certain topics.
Absolutely.
Because of what you've been through.
Yeah.
But it's also your responsibility, because I'm not perfect. So there might be things that I bring up that do trigger you that I'm not aware of. Mm-hmm. You can't attack me for that. That's not my fault. Like, you have to be able to communicate that effectively to me. So I don't know.
I feel like there's people that don't understand that they've been traumatized, that they've been through the situation, and that has carried on.
Yeah.
And like you said, they'll behave in that manner. Mm-hmm. But I feel like learning a person's trauma and triggers is a love language, especially if the person is doing the best that they can within themselves. Again, like I mentioned this before in the clip, trauma, wounds, those are never healed. Never. You can never close that up. It's almost like saying, I'm going to take this recording, I'm going to erase it and delete it. That's like deleting it from your memory. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. We're not Men in Black here.
Yeah.
You know, that's there, and it's a permanent mark. And it's all how you're going to behave with that permanent mark going forward. Are you going to lash out on people and make it their problem? Mm-hmm. Or are you going to work within yourself? And yes, there can be times. I mean, we also have to remember there's a lot of different trauma. There's people that have been going through child abuse, rape, all types of stuff. And any little word or any little behavior can be a trigger. And you have to learn how to go into it with your partner, not to bring that kind of stuff up and put them in a dark space. But I'm also not gonna baby you.
Yeah.
You got to know how to behave and react to that and bring it to my attention. Listen, you know, you said this, you said that, and that kind of bothered me. You know what I've been through with this death in the family or this situation. But we're talking about somebody that's also mature.
Yes. And that's a big key.
You know, and a lot of people nowadays, therapy is for crazy people. Therapy, I don't need that shit. That shit is garbage, this, that, and the third. Sometimes it's not about you being crazy. Sometimes it's about venting to someone that's not biased to the situation. Right. And just you opening up that, you know, your emotions to this person, and they teaching you how to react to this, how to behave to the situation. And not a lot of people are open to that. And they take it out on their partner.
Yes.
And that's where probably you're saying, oh, I'm not willing to do that. And of course not. I'm not willing to be nobody's fucking therapist.
I'm not your punching bag either.
Yeah, I'm not your punching bag.
I'm not your punching bag.
But yes, I feel like that's a love language to know my triggers. Absolutely. I would want that. You know, we all have our triggers. No one's life has ever been picture perfect. Right. You know, and if your life has been picture perfect, then you have no fucking experience. You know, and like, damn, like how naive are you? How, like, you know, what cloud are you fucking in that everything has been so perfect? Nothing? You never been fucking bullied? Nothing?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all? But geez, but you know, you have to learn people's triggers, and that's so important. Again, we talk about all this healthy communication, but not everything is going to be positive in that healthy communication, and that's part of that.
And I like a little drama. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was talking to my therapist, and she was like, it's okay if you like a little drama, but it's just like not letting the drama get out of hand to a point where now you're crying, you're screaming, everything's fucking chaotic.
Do you get bored when there's no drama?
I get a little bored. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll pick a little fight. I'm not gonna lie. It's just something, like a little zest, like a little extra sprinkle on top.
A little razzle dazzle.
A little razzle dazzle. But, you know, it's the point when you're with the wrong person, that shit can escalate so quickly.
That shit could be more than a little razzle dazzle.
Oh, yeah.
That could be an eye opener. Be like, oh, never mind. I want that piece.
Yeah, like I was just trying to fuck with you a little bit. It has to go like this.
Nigga, damn, I was just trying to work it up a little bit. I'm here picking up a cup of that piece.
Wait, where's the wine?
Not here, because I left it over there.
Fuck. It's fine. But yeah, any last minute thought? I was gonna ask you though, what are your triggers, Anthony? Do you have any triggers?
Do I have triggers?
Yeah.
Like in a relationship?
Yeah.
Man, I have. It's crazy. I have a lot of patience. A lot.
You do. I can vouch.
But just because you have a lot of patience doesn't mean you don't feel. When that happens.
It's very. Because Natalie definitely push buttons.
I feel like people with patience, they tend to suppress a lot.
I feel like you used to suppress.
I'm just a I can
wait. So let's talk about it. This is
No,
content. What
no.
What buttons did I push? I want to know.
Now I want to know.
Let's get juicy.
No, it's just like you. Let me see. What the hell? I don't know. You just nag like little simple shit. But that's not crazy.
Shit.
But like that's not enough to make me like spaz or no shit.
Yeah.
Like one thing that annoys me just with like anyone is people that tell me no, like they can't do something.
Oh yeah, you hate that.
When you didn't even try.
Yeah, you hate that.
I fucking hate that. Just tell me you're scared. Don't tell me no, I can't. You didn't try. Like, just tell me you're scared. You're a coward. I can live with that.
Yeah.
But don't tell me no, I can't do it. You never even tried this shit.
You want a reason behind that.
Yeah, no, you
want
gotta
a reason behind that no.
do it, because I'm gonna do every fucking thing. Right. And if I feel like I know I'm just not doing it, I'll tell you, no, fuck that shit. That's just not for me. I'm scared of that shit.
Yeah.
So when someone does that, I'm just like, what? Like stop. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or one thing that would annoy me with you the most is like, yo.
Jesus.
No, no. This
Oh, we're going in.
The most annoying thing is just like, yo, just shut the fuck up and just drink. Like, stop telling me to stop drinking.
What?
Like, yeah, like if I'm drinking, like, yo, stop telling me, like, I'm chilling.
I told you to stop drinking.
It's like, yo, you drinking too much. I'm like, no, nigga, I'm sober as fuck right now. I'm chilling. I'm just relaxing. I'm vibing.
Yeah.
Like, stop killing the fucking drunkenness or my tipsiness.
I want you to be safe.
That's the point. I'm like, yo, I'm chilling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been at the point where like I drink and get violent or start trying to like curse someone out or do anything like that. So it's like, yo, I'm good. I'm chilling. Just drink with me and we chilling. Like, you know what I mean? That annoys me. But besides that, like, I still ain't go to the point where I'm like fucking cursing you out or nothing.
I don't even feel like I went off on you to that extent.
Yeah, no, I never cursed you out or nothing.
Do you have any triggers? Yeah, I have a lot too.
Honestly, that's like a whole different episode. Oh, we should talk about that next time. All right, stay tuned because I really have to think about it. I want to be detailed with it.
Yeah.
Is there one off top that you want to mention?
Like for me, I've been in situations in relationships, you know, with cheating and all that stuff. So for me, like for an example, a trigger will probably be like, I don't know, if I call you and you don't answer. I mean, not off the bat, because I also am not the person that calls 100 times either.
Yeah.
But like...
Also, how fast does it take for you to call me back? Because if it's like 3 hours later, it's like, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck were you doing?
Like little things here and there that can be a trigger.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, then I start questioning, like, what are you doing? This, that, you know, even though you're probably not doing anything, you're probably busy.
Yeah.
Doing something very productive, but... Because I've been in those situations, that can be a trigger.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A lot of my triggers just come from me being an anxious attachment style person.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking anxious with everything, especially to my partners. I latch on, and it's borderline unhealthy, or it is unhealthy. The same thing, the no call, I call you, don't pick up, I text you, don't respond right away. I feel like I always need constant reassurance.
Oh, I need constant
reassurance. And that's exhausting for the partner. Because a secure person, they don't need constant reassurance. And they don't feel the need to constantly reassure you either. So
but that comes from that trauma.
Yeah. But my thing is now trying to figure out where that comes from. Like, why am I like that? And how it can change. Like, you can be with a partner and you can have a secure attachment with that partner. Because all the trust is there, the communication, consistency, reassurance is there. But then you go with another person and you switch back to being anxious because they trigger something in you.
Yeah.
And something I read this morning, I just want to mention it real quick, about red flags in those situations. Like, we always say, like, the red flags is their actions. But it's really, the red flag is not their actions, but how you feel with their actions.
How you portrayed it.
Yeah, that's the red flag. So if they are doing something and it stirs up this negative emotion in you, it's like, oh shit, maybe this isn't the right like, and maybe those are red flags, but for another person, it's not. Like, another person will be fine. Like, oh, you didn't text me back. It's been 5 hours. Fuck it.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, it might be a red flag for you, and it might be like, ooh, I like this for the next person. So, like, to each their own.
It's really just how you feel.
How you see it. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. So, yeah. But that's the episode, guys. We don't have any more topics. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week. That's it. Ready?